Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kev, I'm watching the opening, and now with AI, can we just feed in that we'd like that opening, but with like, if we feed into AI, make that opening, but with 1991 Nash and Oliver. So it just de-ages us. It'll make it a period correct car. B. Arthur will be a little younger than she is in my mind. Although I think now, because I think Golden Girls are still on 91, right? We should put AI to good use and see if we can get that. We were going crazy with AI before the show. That's why it's on my mind as I watch it.
I'm jet lagged, so I'm struggling.
Kev, with AI, do you think it would, in a few years, like we'll be able to say something like,
we'll be dead from the alien invasion.
Well, they're coming. We'll let everyone know, but we'll do our public service announcement about that. But could you be able to say into like a computer, show me the 92 Bulls versus the 70 Knicks? Take two championship teams and watch a fucking game between them. Like right now, it takes a lot of time to just make like a 5-second clip, but like in a few years, could it make a 2-hour basketball game, you think?
Well,
with
you
stats?
know, when they when people know the like the jargon of how to talk to those chat things, where they thought you can't lie and this and that, and man, some of the answers that those AIs give are amazing. You know, the detail of because once you kind of pigeonhole them. So if they can do that verbally, it just.
What two teams would you pick? Even basketball, or would you put two boxers from different generations? Like, if you had to do a time travel thing,
I mean, Tyson versus Ali in their prime.
Amazing,
right?
Yeah.
How about Joe Frazier versus Tyson?
Smoking Joe.
Yeah, like that's kind of that almost like, you know. Both body punching hookers, you know, both shot that left hook.
Yeah, Joe was a little before I watched. Who would have been as dominant as I guess Ali, right? Would have been the most.
Ali
dominant?
was Ali, but
Marciano maybe, or like
I've seen, you know, I never saw Marciano like live. I've always saw clips.
Just like one of those unknockable meatheads that would be able to withstand and go toe to toe, blow for blow with Tyson. See, we're gonna have all that shit. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be the fun. There's the scary aspect of AI that we all talk about.
The thing that
sent me some video
that I didn't realize was the amount of electricity all this AI takes. I mean, it makes early mining of Bitcoin look like a fucking a laugh. Like we need 8 times the fucking electrical grid that we have right now to take this forward.
Once everybody's doing, once everybody's on board with it.
And then it becomes where power becomes currency.
Mm.
What does that say?
So it looks like here's a text AI. Oh, this is a command, Steve. You fed this in. Oh, so this is the result. Tyson and Frazier. Tyson by TKO in round 4. This is what it would have created. Yeah, so this is going to happen. They're just going to apply video to this. They've already written out the advantages one guy has over the other. The likely fight script. What Joe needs to flip it. The probabilities would have been Tyson early TKO, 55%. Tyson decision, 15%. So no, they didn't see this going the distance.
No witness saw this go the distance. Especially after Foreman knocked fucking Frazier out.
So with this comes my question about the impending Atlas issue. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, Kev, how did you come across this?
Okay, so I there's several different places you can go down rabbit holes. The best one is on YouTube, I think. Like the YouTube rabbit holes are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So everyone out there that's searching for Atlas, if there's a number, what's it? Atlas
31.
31.
It's got like a much longer name, but when it came to my attention maybe a month ago that there was a meteor that was going to pass through our solar system that was like fucking, God, what is this? What is the size of this thing? I want to think it is
Of Atlas?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the size of it. I mean, the 4,000 spacecraft have left it that are a city block in size. So that's the size of this thing. So this, I mean, if this thing was to hit the Earth, it'd be like.
Well, it probably. I mean, it might be the size of half the Earth.
No, it's not that big.
No.
I'm trying. They gave it. I want to think it's maybe 7 miles or something. I don't know.
So it looks like if you're Googling this and you're looking at video as we talk about this, and Steve can bring up, we have some actual video, perhaps, of this. So Atlas itself it looks like a meteorite, right? It looks like, it actually looks like a turd.
Except it's emitting cyanide.
Right.
Which, I mean.
Do we have okay, so there you go. So there it is. Maybe the footage we're looking at there, clearly not computer generated. There it is. Headed towards us. How is this? Where did you first come across this? Was it, I mean, this got a spot on like Chris Cuomo's show recently. It's not.
But about a month ago,
some random shit we found.
A month ago, it's not the Hubble. It's the other telescope. Is it the Murphy or Steve? Do you know
the name of the actual telescope?
There's another telescope that's more powerful, as far as
what it can see. Now this, this is clearly an artist's rendering. Is that the cyanide shooting out of it right there?
Probably.
That I was looking at? James
Webb.
The Webb.
That's it. That's so the Webb is the one. So the Webb picked up this as a meteor, and then they realized that it was it had changed. A meteor doesn't change velocity, and this thing had changed velocity as it was traveling. And so I think it's next month it goes behind the sun and comes out. And then there's some theories that say that it'll be the closest meteor that comes to Earth. But then again, if it's actually a vessel carrying the alien invasion. So it went from it being a meteor to it being a spacecraft. because it has it maneuvers. It has maneuverability.
This is like something Disco is booking. Glenn Gilberti is booking this for probably AEW, I say.
Yeah. So
Well, they're all wrestling, actually. It wouldn't be them. It might be something like WWE.
So then it went from that to a false flag, and this conspiracy of a false flag. And what they were going to do is first there would be a blackout, and then they would have this, depending on, like, let's say, over our hemisphere, there would be, they would use holograms to create the second, like a vision of Christ. And then they've developed like telekinesis to whereas the entity, deity, whatever you want to call it, can speak to you, and you can hear it, but it's like we wouldn't be able to look at each other. Could you hear that? It would just be in our head. So that's how detailed this hoax is.
Well, I'm glad to hear you use the word. I'm afraid to use the word around you sometimes because that only invites further videos. But we're all thinking this is bullshit, right? I think we're all on the bullshit page here.
Well, I mean, when you fall down the fucking rabbit hole with this one, it's just like, it's one thing if some fucking there's this asbestos in the World Trade Center, and they go to court thinking that they're going to get, like, there's one that when they put the pieces together, and then all of a sudden there's like people that have access through because they're going to do the elevators, and then you watch it and it looks like a controlled demolition. Then you can say like, okay, I can jump on that. But this, I mean, we're not even smart enough as a fucking, our country can't even figure out. Number one, I just learned this in the last like 3 to 5 days, that there are companies that they're insurance companies, and they are, if say Kliq This, we had product that we were selling someplace else, and we're involved in the tariffs. We would buy this insurance to protect us against the tariffs. And now there's one. It's like there's one that's buying like pennies on the dollar. They're buying this tariff insurance because they think that the judicial system is going to not allow the tariffs because it's, you know.
And the insurance companies then would benefit because they've been selling insurance against
but
this.
But then they've kind of shorted it. So this one group, and I think it's like Lupnick's brother or somebody that runs this insurance. Because I think everything's bullshit. I don't write anything down, but I know all the pieces of it, and I'm just thinking to myself like, and then you look at it and you say,
so what we're looking at here is a breakdown of this, and it says, second one, firms pay importers a fraction of the full tariff value, pennies on the dollar, for the right to collect the full refund amount if it's ever paid by the government. So it's speculation. It's like an option. It's actually like an option.
Yeah.
You're buying the future. Got it.
So
had no idea this was going on, but of course it's going on.
Yeah. And of course, Dr. Conspiracy is going to fucking know what's going on because it's just right in my wheel. Like, my fucking wheelhouse of shit, that the algorithm that I've got set up is anything like this kind of shit. It dumps right in my lap.
Yeah. What's interesting to explore, and we won't do it here for the sake of our listeners, but you've kind of got three parties involved now, right? Because you've got the investor, you've got the individual purchaser of this, but then you've got the insurance company and the importer.
Right.
So three people stand to get fucked.
So Steve, did you watch? You said they leave CNBC on. So you must have watched. Were you at the gym today and watched? Because they covered this on CNBC today.
I saw a bit of it at the gym today, and then I saw a couple TikToks about it.
Yeah. This is today was the first time, and they put was it Lupnick's brother or somebody that was in charge of this, the largest, like the one that's buying everybody else up. Fuck. I wish I'd have paid more attention.
I wonder how many brokerage houses are involved. Would be trading, like how difficult would it be to get in on this action? Are there only like a couple of places?
Well, all you need to do is find somebody who paid a tariff and then pay them a % of that tariff.
But there's got to be a broker.
I'm sure
You
there's
can't just go directly
that's what
Well,
that's what, and this one is basically buying, like the major one is buying is eating all the smaller ones. And they're in direct correlation with somebody that's in our federal government right now. Imagine that.
So right. Nothing for personal gain happening in Washington.
No.
Business as usual down there, folks. Kev, when you were flying to Scotland, you didn't encounter any flying metal turds in the sky or pass anything that...
I was just trying not to commit suicide because the fucking plane was so small. I just want to give you a shout out, Delta. At 767, boy, that fucking first class on that motherfucker is a real gem.
How does it differ? Maybe for some of us that don't fly first class extensively, tell me the difference.
It only differs like people that have traveled with me and know me, like it doesn't differ until you're 6'10". You know, it's like an Uber coming in, and the difference between a Camry and a Corolla. Like I can get in a Camry, I can't get in a Corolla, and that's basically what this was. This was like getting in a Corolla. So there's absolutely no way you're going to sleep. And then I don't even know why they put lumbars in these planes, because they blow out in about a week. So you press the lumbar button, nothing happens. You know, now your lower back. I have to get up like every hour, and like I do I usually do 100. I'll go to the front, and I'll do 100 like calf raises, because they say that you have two hearts in your body. You have your heart, and then your calf muscles. If you do calf raises, will pump the blood out of your lower extremities back into your upper body, so it makes your heart have to work less. And if you just lay on in a plane like that for 7 hours, all that blood, especially when you get older. I saw a thing today where
calf raises are where you're just going up on your toes?
Yeah, just on your toes. Yeah. And you know you're fucked when they give you on this plane especially. And I worked in the shoe I had was a size 16. It's the brand new Reebok basketball shoe. It's a big fucking shoe because it's got a wide toe box and everything else. There was no place to take off my shoe and put it except in the bin above me. So I had to put my fucking tennis shoes in the bin above me.
What was on the bottom? What was under the seat in front of you?
There was it was a solid. So not only now if I'd have sat in the middle, I would have had a little bit more room, but both ways I was in two A. So my body is against the plane's fuselage. So I'm sitting here and the plane is, so even if, like, normally if I was in the middle of the plane, I'd be sitting like this, but I've got to sit like fucking this because the fucking plane's pressed against me and the seat's that fucking wide.
Right.
So
the curvature of the
but
plane is
like,
what you're talking about for those
like when
listening.
people, when flight attendants, they watch you walk by them and they're like, oh my God, how tall are you? And then when you get to the seat, like, I don't understand, like, if an 11-foot person got on the plane and I was the flight attendant at 6'10", number one thing I wouldn't tell the 11-foot person is I wouldn't tell him watch your head, because he's been 11 feet tall for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Like that's almost like, that's one of those things where you just like, and the 45-year-old Kevin Nash would say, and you need to eat less carbs.
I'm sure. I was going to say, what would the reply be?
Like,
now you just keep going?
I just...
Okay, good.
No, especially if you tell me, thanks for being a 3 million miler, thank you for being a diamond medallion, and watch your head, because obviously it's the first time you've been on a plane.
With your 3 million
With
miles.
3 fucking million miles and 25,000 around the earth. I mean, Jesus. It's like, how stupid can fucking people be?
Well, that's an open-ended question.
Yeah.
And,
well, we'll see if when the rapture comes down
when they're here.
how many assholes fucking don't pay attention and just go about their day, and how many people look up in the sky and ram into the side of my fucking car on the way to the gym. But
flying alone, flying by itself, I mean, not you being alone, but flying by itself is an extremely unpleasant, unnatural experience. Yeah. Everything about it.
Yes.
So when these little things get added to it to make it even more surreal, it's like overload. I don't know how you do it. I would really not be flying to Scotland, Kevin. If we reversed roles, I mean, I would not be making that trip right now.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where I haven't been to Scotland in like probably 3 years, maybe. I think probably 3 years. And
you'd have been fine if you didn't go now, Kev.
Well, it would have. Yeah, because I mean, the probably some of the sweetest people on earth when you go to Scotland.
Yeah,
and
but you were no longer one of the sweetest people on earth after that flight.
But they brought me back once I got to the venue on Saturday, and the people were waiting in line, and they were just. I mean, they're just generally kind, sweet people, and I was amazed at how many people said, like, "I love your podcast."
So we're over in Scotland.
We're over in Scotland, man.
All right. Sorry, Scotland. I'm trying to keep Kevin off the flights. Listen, something about those flights though that is,
well, number one, so. You're fucked when you're in first class and you don't board in the middle of the plane, and then you in first class take a left, and then the main cabin and comfort takes a right. This one is you walk into the front of the plane and everybody boards through first class.
Correct.
So now you've got every one of these douchebags that's decided that I'm thinking I'm traveling, so I put my bag underneath the fucking plane. Well, the rest of the world puts on a fucking backpack from fucking to go to Everest, and
bounces off every seat.
and
along
bounces,
the way.
yeah, and talk to their friends and swing them around and beat the shit out of you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I had a 60-pound rucksack on my back, I think I'd be aware of it. You know?
Right. It would be like, oops, had this get here. Sorry, it's in your mouth,
Yeah.
sir, as I walk by. Yeah.
And occasionally, if you hit me hard enough, I will punch your fucking backpack as hard as I can.
I've seen an elbow thrown in a restaurant into the back of a chair. Like it was Thai domi.
I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, fuck you, man. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I am who I am. I'm not sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry you fucking ran into Prick Man today, but you know.
TSA compliant stop boxes can make somebody's travel a little easier if they do need to fly to check their weapon on the plane. What am I talking about? Stop box. If you guys have been watching, then you know the device that I have here with the handy grip-based unlocking mechanism. Made that up, but that's exactly what the damn thing is, folks. Security and accessibility. Consider these two things, all right, when we're talking about a weapon for personal use and protection. You want it accessible. You may have to get into it in the middle of the night. You're going to be messing around with a key? You're going to be messing around with a key, trying to find a keyhole in the pitch black? No, you're not going to do that. You want to try to tap a code into something like an electric lock? What if the batteries are gone? This mechanism, no batteries to go away, and it fits your fingers perfectly, and with the predetermined combination of touches that you set, this thing opens instantly. And I've shown you here many, many times how easy it is, as I just did. Reliable, fast, and gives you access when every second matters. Think about this middle of the night scenario I've been telling you about. With STOPBOX USA, you can finally have both security and readiness, okay? The mechanical keyless system allows for fast, secure access. You don't even have to look for it. It's by touch. I'm doing this as I read copy, and I'm looking at my computer screen. You don't have to worry about the aforementioned tariffs because everything is sourced right here in the USA. All STOPBOX products are made proudly in the USA in their own facility. So they're overseeing this from soup to nuts. Not only does this ensure the high quality craftsmanship of every product sent out, it creates meaningful jobs and opportunities for American workers. So if you want to feel good about the purchase, that's there too. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off at STOPBOX USA. All right, that's stopboxusa.com/Nash. You're going to use that code at checkout. Head to stopboxusa.com. Use the code NASH for 15% off your entire order. After your purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about us, and you're going to tell them the show sent you. All right? Go get it. 15% off. All right. Thank you, STOPBOX.
Speaking of the government shutdown.
Well, what I said, made in the USA, didn't I? Maybe that was...
Yeah, no, it's the workers.
Right.
Yeah, right. So what I'm understanding is that like Trump was sitting at a I don't know, it was a cabinet thing that they had a camera in. He was saying how they were just going to cut all the Democratic pork, like during this, and a lot of it would never come back, and yada 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 yada, and it was kind of like like when I first watched it, I was just like, well, he absolutely has the right to do that, and but then once again, just the legalities of all this shit. The
Democrats that I've heard talk, and you know what goes on behind closed doors we never see. But if you watch House of Cards, call that your education. But every Democrat I've seen, the issues are health care. So they probably could if there's enough pork in there to chop away, which is in every bill, by the way.
Right.
No matter how big and beautiful they may be, there's always individual interests that are getting slipped through while all the high ticket items are being talked about by the news. It's coming. I mean, they're dying on the Hill over healthcare. So unless you touch that, I mean, you're kind of spitting.
Did you see? He was a Florida. I don't know. He was a congressman. I don't know if he was. I mean, I don't know if he was in the Senate or the House, but he went over basically like going back to the 2016, maybe it was even the 2018 numbers of the tax cuts for the wealthy.
Oh,
like going back like the and basically saving like 20 million people's health insurance. But at least, I mean, the Democrats haven't had a message in so fucking long. Besides, like it's nice for once for them to actually be taking care of the middle class. Like looking out for the. I just don't see how the Republican Party can be worried about the billionaires tax over a 26-year-old kid that's going to bounce off his mom and dad's insurance, and his health care is going to triple, which he will not be able to fucking afford.
Well, they veil this This is the I generation. I've told you that. Yeah, we've talked about it here. The I, and then there's no we. It's beyond your concerns and how it affects you personally. You're not really worrying about too much of the we. I say that to society in general right now, which is why
but the people that voted this guy in to be the president, I think that they're starting to realize, like, number one, like, bullshit on fucking food and everything else going, like, things are just going up.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is the only, I can't believe I'm saying this, is the only politician of note today that is consistently pointing that out.
Right.
And I don't know if this is, we're trying to set something up for, you know, someone in the Republican Party is even booking this for beyond, you know.
Well, I mean, to me, she actually is like, she's playing it. When she's the only one that has a mental awareness, and then the lady that just won the seat in Arizona, and Johnson saying that he wants her to have her pomp and circumstances. That he'll wait until the government reopens, and she came on and said, "No, I don't need pomp and circumstances. My constituents need me to be at work for them right now."
Yeah, but she's that crucial vote, so that's never.
Of course she is.
Yeah.
But they say that once she becomes 218, once she becomes that vote, then she said that probably 55 Republicans will vote along with it because they won't want to be on the wrong side of this when it comes down to this one vote.
I wonder.
I don't know.
Who knows if we'll ever see it. Kev, I wanted to ask you a question about airports. I saw something by CM Punk. He put out a statement about autograph-seeking fans in public and cited hotels and airports. You've been dealing with this for years. He went further, though, and he talked about it being stalking. Stalking, which is, I believe, a crime in any state with some pretty specific guidelines.
They were just in Australia, too.
Mm-hmm.
So Did you see any of the clips where people said like they spent $17,000 to go to the events? Like they were talking to people on the street of what they spent.
I believe it.
It
but-
was, it was like, fuck, man. Like, I couldn't believe the amount of money people were. I swear one person said they had spent $90,000.
between seats and airfare, tickets,
Everything.
airfare, hotel, the whole shebang.
I have never seen more the night of the Crown Jewel. I've never seen that many those yellow Cena T-shirts that looked like they were given out like it was Tiger fucking Cap Day. Everybody in that fucking building had a Cena fucking shirt on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did they? I mean, fuck, they have to have the ability to print those like on the fly, because there's no way that they would. What they knew they needed 11,000. They just happened to.
I don't think it's unreasonable to think they sold them.
Oh, I know they sold them.
I mean, no, that they sold the full lot, because this is.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying though that they have to, at this point in their business model, they have the ability, like they've got a printer there.
And it's in every city.
But I mean, but like in Perth, I mean, there's no way they're fucking shipping anything. It's being made there and shipped to the arena.
It could be. There's some of the merch there. But in regards to this, Kev, when you encounter fans at an airport or at a hotel and they're holding something out, right, as you walk by that they want you to sign, or they're taking a picture, is it, I mean, to go to the level of stalking because someone wants an autograph, to call it stalking, did you ever feel you were that violated?
I think that what happens is it used to be early in my career, you might go to the airport and there might be 3 or 4 like younger fans, that would be at the baggage claim.
But you're talking about like your first runs? 3 or 4 fans, that would have to be way back.
Yeah, it just wasn't that big of a deal. I just I don't think wrestling memorabilia. But now like the card business has taken off, and if you can sign a card and all of a sudden that person's got, you just made that guy
$1,500, yeah,
or $200 or so. And then there's always the guy that uses his kid.
Oh,
he uses a 7-year-old kid to come up, and then you just sit and watch it. It's like watching any other scam in life. You don't react. You just sit back first and watch, and see. And I always look, because you never want to tell a little kid to fuck off,
right?
But if his dad's using him like that, and the thing is they'll say you can sign your name. That way I won't be able to sell it. Like, dude, when I sign your at these things on an 8x10, it's a glossy, and you, especially in Scotland, they say their name and with their accent. I'm thinking he's saying Matt and he's saying some other name,
right?
And all you need is a piece of toilet paper and a drop of hand sanitizer, and you can wipe that fucking Sharpie the ink pen right off the fucking ape. Like, yeah, I'll sign my name. You got me. I don't know that can be removed. So it's the hardest thing to do for me is to tell, like, I don't want to tell a kid, like, no.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's hard. It's very hard to do.
But
But
when
at the
the
same
kid's being
time,
used as a prop,
but if the hotel is downtown, I doubt this kid lives down there. So somebody brought him, and so then it becomes a. You know, I remember we'd be in a bar, and like there'd be kids in the bars, and Scott would say, like, "Who's the parent of this kid? Take your kid home, you fucking piece of shit. Like, he shouldn't be in a bar." But now I just act like they're not there. I don't make eye contact. I don't acknowledge. Because I remember we were at SummerSlam, I think it was in Cleveland the year before last, and Jay was there, Uso, and he was just like hiding by a fucking cement pole, and then he was watching me, like, I was waiting on my bag, and I just didn't make eye contact. I just stood there like I didn't. And then my bag came. I got my bag. I said, "Excuse me," because I had to pick my bag off the thing and set it on the ground. I put my briefcase on top of my bag, and I walked. I was done. I walked out to my car service. And he saw me later on. He goes, "How do you do that?" I said, "I'm not active." I said,
on the roster.
Yeah. I said, "I'm not active." I said, "I'm not asking people to do anything when I come to the ring."
Right.
I said, I'm a pedestrian that used to wrestle. Mm-hmm. So you have no right to fuck with me. Mm-hmm. But I said, it's up to you. To me, if you're talent, mm-hmm. and especially the prices that these people are paying nowadays to go to these premium events, I mean, and you're making 5-7 million, as one of the boys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think you sign.
And I think they probably do. Now, Punk's issue is pretty specific. You're talking about people following him, and I don't know
that's
if
the whole
about him
thing.
or his wife.
Well,
but...
see, the thing is, though, they get into the hotel, mm-hmm. and then all you have to do one time is let you get in the, and then they just sit outside and they watch, and they see what number the floor it stops on. Then they know he's on that floor. Right. Then you get up in the morning and you go down to the fucking elevators, and there's maybe a bench or something down there and there's 16 people sitting down there. That's when it gets, and it's on your floor, and then they think they're going to get on the elevator with you, and that's when it becomes a problem. Especially if I had my wife with me, fuck, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's traveling with his wife now, so it's like I absolutely can see why Phil would be like, "Fuck this," mm-hmm. because it changes the. I mean, I don't care how fucking tough you are, I mean,
but where's the line, though, Kev? Here's the thing: for a fan, I mean, when I was a young fan, I waited outside the Meadowlands in the back by the gate, by the ramp, and if guys would get out and walk toward the ramp with their bag, I'd hold out my thing, ask for an autograph, and I usually got one. But I was never aware that I was in imposition. I just kind of thought this was the deal. Like, I saw you on TV. You're awesome. Can you sign this? And
yeah, but you were there without malice.
Correct.
You weren't.
I wasn't looking to sell anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
so there's a death, and I think when you're trying to make money, it changes the whole personality of the person. You can fan interaction and vendor interaction is completely a different interaction.
True. Right.
And you can tell when somebody's a vendor. When they come up and they've got 10 cards positioned on a fucking cardboard sheet for your convenience to sign all 10 immediately, and they've got the perfect that blue pen that Top sends you when you sign the cards. I mean, it's just, that's the guy you just,
Right.
you know. I remember one time we went somewhere and this guy just kept like fucking with Scott, and I remember Scott there was like 4 pictures on this, and one of them was his, and Scott drew dicks on all 4 pictures with a black Sharpie, just like there. I mean, I remember at one of the WrestleManias, and I was on the cover of the program, and I was in this like a back room, and every one of them that came to me, Scott had signed across my face.
Oh, I love that.
And it was like, at the beginning, I was like, then I kind of got hot, you know?
Did you really?
Yeah, I kind of got hot. You know, like, that's kind of dicky. And I said, yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like now I have to, like, it was long enough, like it was an hour and a half before I saw him again. And I said, man, you were busy signing my picture today. And then he was just like, I didn't sign your picture. I said, yeah. I said, you wanted to sign on the front of the magazine. You didn't want to have people go inside and find your picture. And he was just like, he was like, oh, your psychology's working. He goes, I know it fucked with you. I said, yeah, it did. I said, but I got over it.
Bro, you could do a whole book on the mind games of the Kliq to each other, like
exactly
in the ring and also at the autograph session.
But I mean, I can see Phil's position, especially traveling with his wife. But man, at those huge events that you like, I've never been to Perth. We never ran Perth. We just ran the east coast of Australia. We never ran the west coast.
You know, we got, right before we went on the air, we got news that Ace Frehley had passed.
Yeah.
And it brings to mind MTV. Now, MTV, it seems, might be on its way out. They're canceling like 5 of the channels. So MTV's, you know, an empire. So they're shuttering. Is it 5 or 4 of them, Kev? MTV Music, which was their flagship station.
Yeah.
There's MTV 80s. There's MTV 90s. There was Club MTV, which was all dance music, and then MTV Live, which just showed like concerts.
Did they own VH1?
Yes, they
do.
Yeah. VH1 was theirs, and that was always kind of a little more mature.
Kind of yacht rock.
Yeah, touched a little yacht rock classic. They had like all the classic shows on there, classic albums and stuff.
Yeah.
But MTV, I don't think has been relevant in how long. I mean, it was a monster.
I remember when I was over in Germany playing ball, and my buddies would send me like a 6-hour VHS of MTV.
Of videos and stuff.
Just, and I mean, commercials, everything.
Oh, just tape the whole.
They would just tape it. They wouldn't edit shit. They would just send it to me, you know, so I could, you know, because you had to catch your Kurt Loder update.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was listening to Sirius, and Classic Vinyls has that Mark Goodman is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does a few stations. He does the 80s. He does Classic Rewind, which is the rock from the cassette era. And then I didn't realize he was on Classic Vinyl also. So, yeah. MTV was so relevant. Anyone who's too young to have remembered this, it was it was the influencer before influencers. Of course, there was no TikTok or internet or anything like that. So, but MTV could have been seen as the influencer. If you got played on it, you were huge. Getting on MTV, and then their shows, and then they kind of set the bar for popular culture. And it got to the point where political candidates, presidential candidates, could not ignore MTV, and they would have town halls and open houses for the young people on MTV. It was hugely influential, but has not been, I think, probably since our cell phone era. And I wonder how it could have changed, what they could have done to save their business model, or was it just always going to be doomed because you watch videos on your phone now? So the music aspect of it is completely...
Well, half the music nowadays, they don't even have videos for it. You know, it's just...
Yeah.
What did I see? I saw a clip. It was Garbage, the band Garbage.
The group, yeah.
And it was the lead singer, and she was saying they were in Denver, good house, and they were saying how they couldn't afford to run anything but the coasts anymore. Like they just couldn't afford to run interior like U.S. And she went on to basically say that, you know, like the average like musician makes like $14 from Spotify. Like it's just, you know, like there's no money unless you're Taylor Swift.
And the money's in the live shows now. It's like the recorded music is almost... We joke with each other all the time about what residuals are today versus...
Oh, my God.
20 years ago when...
I got a thing the other day, and it was like 3 or 4 pages, and it was almost like a filing from SAG for me to go after like $11 in Austria, Germany, like of residuals of this list of things, you know, that, you know, that like pennies on each one. And my wife looked at me, she goes, "Babe, what do you want me to do with this?" I said, "Throw it in the fucking trash."
Germany wins.
Yeah, like they can keep their $11.
Yeah, it's completely upside. The whole entertainment model, money for entertainment, is upside down.
Yeah, once the film industry lost DVDs, that was it for that.
Yeah,
That used to be killer.
Yeah, it was great. It was between, I mean, you have one hit, like a few of the, and I only did like days on these things. And between like The Sixth Sense, that movie was huge. That thing delivered remarkably for me in the afterlife. And also Sex and the City. I was on like 4.5 seasons of that. It went into syndication incredibly. I was like, this show's never getting syndicated. And they would always tell me when I was working, they're like, "Oh no, it's happening. We're going to edit until it's acceptable." So it went into syndication, I think, on 2 places. It was like TBS
and HBO.
And then the same night, it would be on HBO, TBS, and then like WPIX or WB. Or so. It was like all over the place. Plus DVD. I called my house the house sex bill. I walk in and hand. That was back before the direct deposit. And you remember your mailbox. There'd be like 27 checks on the same day. And
with the Screen Actors Guild guy, and then you'd look down and say residuals department.
Correct.
You'd be like, yeah. See, I still get all my checks. I don't get direct deposit.
Oh, I forgot who I was talking to for a minute. Yeah, of course. That's like typewriter ink.
Yeah, but how do you know what? I tell people all the time. I'll say, "Hey, did you get that?" They'll go, and they'll be like, "I don't know."
You're right. I don't look, and
yeah. So
you could log on to the website and see everything that's coming, but I just with the amounts now, I don't even get excited about it. Just because you don't even notice.
I still make some money on those things, so I want the check.
in aggregate, I guess. But yeah, you're right. I don't know what's coming and when. But I would know what's coming if I popped a Blue Chew. And let me remind everyone that you'll know what's coming. You'll know what's coming up if you have your Blue Chew. Blue Chew is not just about performance. Blue Chew, everyone knows what Blue Chew is. If you're watching the show and you're listening to the show, you know that it is absolutely the original brand, offering chewable tablets for better sex. Okay? It is 100% should be a part of every man's routine, perhaps. It's not just about performance. You don't need a deficiency here. You just want to be ready. You want to be ready to go at the drop of a hat. And it's long, strong, and down to get the friction on, as who would have said that? I think Sir Mix-a-Lot I can credit with that. This is not just about performance. It's about your legacy. All right? And nothing's going to make you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Pop it anytime, day or night, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we've got the special deal that we've been offering for years. As always, your first month of Blue Chew is free. If the promo code NASH is used at checkout, just pay $5 for shipping. Promo code NASH, that's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and important safety info. Thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring our podcast for, what are we, 3 years now? Where are we? Over
At
three.
least, yeah.
Over three. This is show 172, if anyone's paying attention at home, keeping score. I know some people who are paying attention at home and keeping score because they send feedback, like Razorback667, who says, "Hey, Sean and Kev, just wanted to throw out there that I live in Portland, 20 minutes from the ice facility. I assure you, besides that little block, our amazing city is not on fire or war-ravaged. I love my Monday morning because of you both. Great work." Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the furries out there.
We did kind of tell everyone that it was those protests of which they spoke, the war-ravaged protests, are about one city block. Blake Sanctum, out of all the podcasts I listen to, this is the only one I listen to. Out of all the pods I listen to, this is the only one I listen to the ad reads on, as Sean Oliver does them so entertainingly. The sound of Kevin's massive lungs in the background is like the, what does it say here, Steve? Your name is in the way here. Is like the ultimate ASMR experience. Thank you, Blake's.
Remember when we used to get like all those complaints about me breathing and this, how horrible my headset was, and it's like,
well, first the complaints were that you were off mic sometimes, so we solved that with the headset,
right?
And then the headset was breathing. Yeah, the some nasal breathing complaints. Haven't seen them in a while, so I guess you're either not breathing as much. The apnea mask may begin kicking in. Maybe you can wear that on the air.
God, what a fucking pain that is.
You rocking it?
Yeah.
Now, which did you do? The nose pillows, or you did the whole?
I had to do the whole thing.
I can't. I've tried it.
My nose doesn't work.
You get stuffed?
No, it doesn't. My nose has been broke so many times it doesn't work.
Oh.
I can't breathe out of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, then you need the full mask, brother.
Yeah. So right now I got 3.5 hours in yesterday. They want you to get 4.
Well, you should be sleeping at least 4 hours.
Well, yeah, but I'm in my chair doing this.
Right.
I'm in my recliner, just trying to get used to it first.
Yeah.
I read an interesting article about young men having strokes, and it's due to the fact that they get up and because of all this bullshit that they read with the cold plunges and all this, and they take an ice cold shower first thing in the morning. And when you get up in the morning, your blood pressure is like 140/80. It's like because your system just, and then you go in there and you vasodilate. You constrict your right on your brain with that cold water, and your blood pressure. And people are having aneurysms and
The mammalian ice plunge is touted as like the ultimate boost, right? The fight or flight, supposed to. I never do this early in the morning.
I have read more. Like if it's a biohack guy, now that all the information has, like, now that it's no longer like the chic thing to do, the cold plunge. When was the last time you saw a celebrity cold plunge on Instagram?
I haven't.
Because it's now on a biohack on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 3. So in other words, it's like, but every one of the biohacks will give infrared sauna a 10 out of 10. So if you're going to do anything, it's the infrared sauna.
Got it. MBCR, best show on the web. People complaining about the show being two guys just talking. That's the show. Shawn looks better than ever currently, and you could see it in his eyes. He's doing good work on himself. Onward to next week's show. A lot of messages about my face. This was a compliment, but they were mostly insulting the growth, Kevin, because I told you that you can't see the white portion here. It just looks like I have this little Vince McMahon mustache going on. And people like Dominic DeRubies writes, Shawn, what's going on with the dead caterpillar on your lip? Did you lose a bet? Now, there's more here. I'm going to have to dye it. I'm going to have to just dye the whole thing dark.
No, it'll look horrible.
I'll go half. I'll wash it quickly so that it keeps some of the salt and pepper.
You can't. There's a bar that you need to use.
I have it. Spartan.
Yeah. Use that.
I used the shampoo. You can use the bar on your beard?
Use the bar on your beard.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for that. Kevin always helping us out. Greg Trumbold, stay-at-home dad, going on 10 years now. When my wife and I were putting our plan together, I thought, easy street for me. Nope. Toughest overall gig I've ever done. Also, by far the most rewarding. But don't make the mistake of thinking this shit is easy. I guess we discussed that a little last week.
Yeah, we talked about me the first time I watched T.
That's right. Off the bed he went.
She was gone like 4 hours, my wife, to get her hair done. I would have thought she was gone a week.
Yeah.
I mean, the minute she walked out the door, he immediately sensed I was in panic mode. He started screaming, and he was the quietest baby. And it was just like.
But your energy, you were giving off the panic energy. Yeah.
I do that around. It's like horses, man. I get around a horse, and I guess, I never rode horses as a kid or anything. Like, I get around a horse and they get stuck. They get almost spooked because I put out that fucking that energy.
Yeah, the dog, same thing. They can kind of read you, and if you approach one all scared, they're gonna know.
Yeah, my dog, he does the same thing every time I come home. He goes and gets a toy, but he doesn't bring it all the way to me until I make eye contact with him.
Until he can get a read on what's walking into the house?
Yeah, until he gets the eye contact with me, then he realizes that I'm happy to see him.
That's a good. Actually, spouses should kind of invest in that education as well.
God, right? My wife was in Boston for 5 days. She came home Wednesday night. She got home while I was down here doing the show.
That's right.
I came home. She had cooked me some food, but she was tired. Then the next day, she went to Bocelli at Amway. Kia,
oh, that's she's seen him before, I think, right? Yeah.
This is the second time she went with her girlfriend Tanya, and they left the house before I did to go to. So I was just like, hey, because So I came home Monday. It was like we hadn't seen each other in like fucking 10 days.
We were talking about signings before. I have a question for you. You need to give me some advice. When I'm at a book signing, if it's crowded or there are people who want to talk to me, but somebody else has come up. So, person A here with the book and, hey, what's your name? And they're maybe saying something. And then person B's over here. Maybe they were signed before. Maybe they're just passing through. They're saying hi. Maybe I know them. And they're talking, but I feel very obligated to be giving my time to the person who's handed me the book. How do you handle like the multiple stimuli? It gets very nerve-wracking.
First thing you got to do is you got to have a buffer. Like, do you have a handler?
I mean, if it's the proprietor, they'll set it up, but they
so set
may
up,
or may not be there.
Set up. Do you need to have a piece of tape on the ground that's 3 feet away from your table?
So they just come up one at a time.
They come up one at a time.
Yeah.
Because you want to, you can gauge, by your line. If there's 50 people in your line and you're at a con, you need to, you need to probably make each transaction about a minute. Because that last person is going to be waiting there almost an hour.
But it's all right. So somebody's standing in front of you. They hand you something. But like Rick Steiner's there also, and he comes over and he walks behind the table. Hey, Kev, taps you on the shoulder. You get up. You're giving him a hug, talking to him. Now, are you turning to sign while you're talking to Rick? How are you handling the multiple interactions? This is clearly not a problem for you. It gives me stress.
I've done so many of them. It's when you first get, you should go say hi to everybody at 4:00 when the crowd dies. And as soon as it becomes sporadic, where there's, but like in Scotland, it was rare that we didn't have a few people in front of us like the whole day. So it was never,
Right.
But I make sure that on days like that, I take the full hour for lunch. Plus the foods that the Monopoly group that I worked for, they cater pretty decently.
Okay. Brad Carver, not to continue to beat the already decayed horse, but Sean's 100% correct about reasonable creative control. Bret can't be the $400,000 a year champion and expect to have that doesn't work for me, brother, power. That's correct. Hey, you mentioned power, and Kev, have you been rocking your power bank?
No, I haven't, because my wife stole it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That shit was gone.
But I'll tell you one thing, she puts it over.
Oh, God. And my little one got it first, but I've taken it back, Kev.
Every night she comes in to watch TV, and she brings that block with her and powers her phone.
We first started talking about Ridge for wallets, but my God, the Ridge power bank, game changer in this house. So you've got the magnetic face right here, and then you've got the built-in chargers, USB-C and Lightning, and then the charging port here, which is
your keychain.
You do have the Ridge keychain going.
It's got my condo keys on it.
I have my new wallet over here too.
I sent my brother the Ridge wallet.
Because it's your second, right? So
T has.
Oh, T has two, right?
T had two, like way before we ever did a podcast.
Right.
T was rocking the Ridge years ago.
Right. So this thing is amazing. I mean, if it is, once you have it charged, and you do charge it just with this port here with the USB-C into an outlet, and then let's see what I'm at here. Let's turn this on. Then you can see the charge that your device has. I'm at 70% right there. So I could, while I'm sitting on the couch, if I need a little boost before I go upstairs and go to sleep, I just slap my phone on the magnetic there, and it begins to charge. I'm getting the charging notification right there. Maybe I want to plug in instead, and I have that option here. And while I'm plugging in, maybe someone else can use the USB-C. My youngins have all the newfangled phones that use this. And then this is available for my wife, and then I can even plug into the front with the USB-C. Guys, this is the ultimate charging device. Thank you, Ridge, for bringing this into my life. I couldn't be happier. They look badass. They're available in matte olive, base camp orange, matte black, which I have. These are designs that scream, I didn't pick this up at the airport gift shop, okay? Comes with the LED charge status indicator that I just showed you right there. Let me turn that on again and show you there so you know what's going on. You know what percentage you are at. Displays the battery level. It's got the integrated kickstand for effortless hands-free viewing. That's right in the back here. I should have put this over more. Yeah, there's the kickstand. So I could be charging on the magnetic base with my phone up, watching TV, videos, whatever, while I'm charging. This is no joke. I don't know how anybody doesn't live with this, and I didn't realize how much I needed it until Ridge brought it into my life. One thing to pack, guys. Not throwing 500 things in your suitcase or in your travel bag. One jammy, 5 ways to power. You can find Ridge's power bank at Best Buy, or our listeners will get 10% off if you use the code Kliq, K-L-I-Q. Just head to ridge.com, use the code Kliq, and you're all set. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show. Tell them it was here. Go get your 10% off at ridge.com for the power bank. Thank you, Ridge.
Yeah, my wife's very happy that they're a sponsor.
As am I, and you could also be happy at home if you join the Kliq This TV 11 Soft Club. Go to kliqthistv.com, and you could be in the house like our friends here, watching us, part of the pregame show here. You get the shows early, you get them without the commercials, and you're part of the taping every week. Also, Kliq This shop is open and selling our wares. Thank you so much. Kev, I watched Raw, and the big news of the week happened on Raw, overshadowing anything that would have happened
After the
Crown Jewel.
But no, Paul's name came up.
I loved that they did that because everyone thought they were going.
It was over.
It was a true shock because they ran credits over it.
Yep.
I appreciate the little things.
I've always been that. I was just like, oh, attention to detail, man.
So the heel turn itself, Braun, Paul, Reed.
Is it?
Are they heels?
I don't know. The crowd popped for him.
Because then you got to keep Seth a heel, and he was attacked. But realistically, how do you turn him babyface with the arrogant pose? But maybe you can today because everyone's kind of a tweener now, right? You can find love in anybody, right? I don't think Paul and company can be the babies. I really don't. For jumping somebody like that,
I don't know. I'm not convinced that Paul is with them.
Do you think Heyman's got something up his sleeve?
I think that Heyman raised their hand because, I mean, he's a chicken shit heel anyway. So he's a cockroach. He's gonna do whatever he can to survive.
Right.
Like, Lesnar comes in the building and he goes over to Lesnar. It's like, so.
Right. I don't know. Maybe we'll see where it goes.
But think how long ago it was that Bronson grabbed the mic and talked,
and they were making the faces.
Yeah, behind him, and then they just that just went away, and we were just like, and then they kind of got in that mucky thing where it was them and the Usos, or it's like that whole main event thing just kind of got like mucked to like 6 characters, and there were 2 of them that kind of would float in and out of it, and then you just never saw.
And it created the diversion. We weren't talking
Right.
about a turn or anything because we were
No.
so busy with the other stuff. Done really well. If that was crafted from jump, done really well.
Yeah.
For as much as we talk about having to hit the 2X on that show, you got to give props when it works. And
I thought the show was really strong. I thought my girl was what worked strong in the tag match.
right.
Like I noticed, like she doesn't flat back like 0 now. Like she uses the ropes to catch her, and if she's going to take a bump, she usually takes a bump through the 2nd, 3rd rope.
That was a discussion, right?
Well, we just talked about that. I just think that she's by far the most improved. I'm not saying that anything I said to her. I just think that she's the most improved female on the roster in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. Because she's just, I mean, she doesn't work small. She doesn't work small anymore.
Right. Well, that's important. I mean, that's a consideration when you're gifted in that way and you can be that kind of character. You've got to make that decision. It's got to be consistent with what you do in the ring. Now, if it's 2 big people, then it's got to be, maybe you'll flat back for someone who's
But she's
your
so
size or
different
larger.
than Rhea's bigger, than most of the. But Rhea's more like she's very lanky.
Trim.
She's just lanky, man. She's almost like reptilian. Got a small waist.
Not many
wide
places would a woman find that as a compliment, but I think in this case she might.
I think so.
Is she part of the reptilian alien set that's going to be arriving on Atlas 31? Because those are the shapeshifters.
There are times that she shapeshifts. I knew she was going to have a great entrance in Perth.
Uh-huh.
Like when she came down and does that thing where she slides through the rope like a panther. So, yeah. She looked good this week on Raw.
You personally, what do you do with Seth and the rest of the visionaries there?
The character is like I've come to the conclusion that he's the modern day Macho Man. Like that fucking. There's some sophomore at the University of Michigan that's trying to find his couch that Seth wore to the ring.
What do you the fabric he had on?
Yeah, that Herculon fucking zoot suit that he had on Monday. No, I just don't see him getting sympathy.
Yeah, I know, but you really think that Paul Heyman at this point, and even Braun and Bronson, you think they could do a babyface role with what's been established so far, and jumping them?
Yeah, I mean,
what was their provocation that earlier in the night he had a promo that said he doesn't need anybody, he can do it on his own? That pissed them off so much.
I mean, I think it's been a slow bit. I mean, a slow burn for those guys.
I don't know. Has it? It's never been really teased. The thing with the faces behind, that was very subtle.
Yeah, but I think that it's, we all see, like, especially the Rick Steiner, Bronson, that he was he's been a star for. I mean, think how long ago he had the IC belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he was a singles guy and kind of a face then.
We'll see.
He's more the tweener than any of them.
But you don't think Seth's, like, remember we were talking about Seth's promo with Cody a couple of weeks ago? You don't think that could have established a softer side?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't. But can he do that?
Right. You'd have to change it up.
He would have to. I don't know.
Well, it's got people tuning in, and it's got me curious. So
I'm very. I mean, I think
that.
they'll definitely do numbers on Monday.
Oh yeah. Yep. Agreed.
I noticed that it stayed on the Netflix top 10. It was still 1 today when I got up.
See? Yeah.
On Thursday.
And this was probably in the pipeline for a while. This isn't a panicked reaction to all the stories talking about low viewership on Netflix last week, right? This is something they pulled out of their hat to correct that.
And on top of that, it's like, I think we're so spoiled. Like, watching Netflix Raw is like watching a Bond film. Just the ability for them to shoot wherever they're at makes the city look, but like Perth looked fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I think about the travel from Atlanta to LA to Sydney, or LA to Melbourne, and then you're actually going like across our country again to Perth. And man, I just remember just that was some rotten jet lag.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah. No, indeed.
Especially coming back.
Kev, how on earth do you have a non-compete clause in a contract for somebody who's not an employee? I'm seeing here, WWE, their new contracts have a lengthy non-compete if fired for cause or breach. But you're not an employee. You're a contractor. This is like me telling my contractor, you can't work on the house across the street.
Because you came stoned to my house.
Right. Yeah, I don't like how you fixed my toilet, so you may not work on my neighbor's toilet. The fuck is this? Would this stand up in any court? I can't get my mind around this 1099.
I don't think so.
The abuses are ridiculous.
But I think the key is always going to be, do you want to... I think it was Cody I watched, and Cody was talking about, it was an interview of him talking about going back to the WWE and how he was being disrespected at A&W, and he was like, you motherfuckers don't realize how much I do, but you're going to find out. And then he left and came back. And he said, I came home, and he said, and we all equated to the same thing. Like, you come home to the Yankees. Like, do you really, if you play Major League, if you play for me, the NBA, and the bridge you don't want to burn is the Lakers. I don't want to never be able to be a Laker. So
you endure labor abuses because, and it shouldn't be up to the worker to have to. Somebody should be going to bat for the worker, because of course
I think what they've done. I think what they might have done is they might have sat down with the Saudi government and put that together.
Well, if you read Nick Khan's statement defending WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia, he said that it was kind of the next, I'll get the exact quote on it. I hate paraphrasing for people. It was just the next logical thing in business, right, to be going to.
Well,
that was actually the quote. It was a natural next step for us.
They're smart enough to know in Saudi Arabia that the oil's not going to be here forever, and they're trying to build an infrastructure and a culture and draws and like.
Right.
I would be amazed if there's not some kind of either Universal, Disney, or one of those parks that go to Saudi.
Could happen someday. Could
Yeah.
happen someday. But I think societally, things have to change first, right? So the next order of business, we know it was a $250 million payday to host, right?
Yeah.
So that's what less than the next logical step in business. It's the payday. And in taking that payday, as I watch Rhea sometimes on social media with almost tearful exchanges with young girls who are dressed like her or have something for her and signing, and the popularity of the women's division now and the talent they're getting and the fact that it's such a draw.
Yeah, she's as big, if not the biggest worldwide star they have.
So those stars, you as WWE are putting in the position to have to, for your $250 million payday, to go to a place with the following human rights situation with women. Now, this is from Human Rights Watch as of 2024, this report. So their first codified law on personal status formally enshrines male guardianship over women and includes provisions that facilitate domestic violence and sexual abuse in marriage. The government did not consult Saudi's women's rights activists despite their campaign for a personal status law that would end discrimination against women. Instead, Saudi women's rights activists have faced arbitrary arrest, detention, torture, and travel bans. The personal status law requires women to obtain permission from their male guardian, typically their fathers or brothers, to marry. And married women are required to obey their husbands in a, quote, reasonable manner. If a woman refuses, without a, quote, legitimate excuse, to have sex with her husband, move into the marital home he provides, or stay overnight there, or travel with him, she loses her right to spousal maintenance from her husband, which includes food, housing, clothing, and basic needs. Men have a right to unilaterally divorce their wives, while women can only petition a court to dissolve the marriage, contract on limited grounds, and must establish harm that makes the continuation of the marriage impossible. The law does not define harm or what evidence can be submitted to support a case, leaving judges wide discretion to interpret the law and enforce it to maintain the status quo. The father remains the default guardians of his children, limiting the mother's ability to participate fully in important decisions related to her child. Even in cases where the parents do not live together and the court decides that the child should live with the mother, a mother can only act as a guardian of her children if a court appoints her. That's where you're sending Rhea, and that's where you're sending all the women on the roster that stand and pose with young ladies at these events. Nick Khan, the next logical step in business was a $250,000 check to subjugate $250 million. What am I saying? To subjugate what you've established a powerful woman should be with your product. You should suck a dick. Sorry. Not the parent of daughters, as you can tell, reading that story. You're going to have a sip of that water and then tell me how you feel.
God, I mean,
not asking them to go over and change the laws, but that's where
No.
you took a $250 million check from. He said fans are going to go travel over there to watch WrestleMania, not to worry that it's leaving the U.S. It's going to be big travel to Saudi Arabia from the United States.
I go back to as I've said before on the show. I ain't gonna play Sun City.
I know you
So-
wouldn't, brother. That's why you're my dude. I just wish other people in your stead were running things in the largest wrestling company in the world.
But
Well done with the big turn this week, guys. But that's where your event is going to be. I got to calm down. Maybe to do this, I could use some Get Blitzed. I'd love to swig some of the Get Blitzed LitAid mixers, the Kliq This Show edition ones with Kev's Key Lime and Sean's Blue Raz. Or even if I had the Delta 9 THC sip and syrup, I'd be able to do that and spoon a teaspoon. Don't need more than that, for God's sakes. Into my favorite beverage.
I had a buddy of mine drop one off right before I left to go to Scotland.
Our can or the
Not the syrup.
The syrup.
Yeah. He buys it.
It's a syrup. You mix it in, fast onset, 5 to 15 minutes. Nano infused means that THC goes right to your bloodstream, bypassing the breakdown in the liver. It works quick. It's like alcohol in that way, but not like alcohol because of the shitty hangovers and stuff like that causes. Nope. If you're in Maryland, you can visit a Stay Lit smoke shop, but for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the Get Blitz website to almost all 50 states. Please go check it out. Get some of our drinks. Get some of the Kliq This LitAid mixers, pre-mixed in cans. Don't have to be your own mixologist for these. If you're over 21, you don't need a med card in those states. Right now, you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com to try the Delta 9 THC Sip and Syrup LitAid from Get Blitzed. Get-blitzed.com. Use the promo code KLIQ. Save 15%. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you all.
Going back to where we were before this.
Yeah.
There's that huge comedy thing that's about to go down over there.
I know, and there's some heat.
And there's like Whitney's there. I think there's several women that are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Are going to do that comedy show. And
listen, I know people, men and women, prostitute themselves all the time.
I know, and I just think that as fucked up as life is, and our world is. I mean, I believe it was Ted DiBiase that stated that everybody's got a price.
Exactly.
I saw Ted this weekend.
I saw you with Ted and Steve, actually. Sting. Yeah, there's some folks, I think everyone you're seeing on there will be playing the Riyadh Comedy Festival, unless anyone's backed out. I don't know. Is that Louis C.K.? I guess that's where he can get booked these days.
I thought that Whitney Cummings was.
She might have been on the top.
There she is.
Right there she is. She's on the bottom. Yeah. All right. Well.
Is that Burr? Yeah, Burr's there.
Oh, there's what's his name for the? Just looking at the poster, everybody. Kevin. What the hell's his name? Comic. Does
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart. Thank you. Yeah.
That's what you call it next to him.
On which side? On the right?
The black dude. He was in the movies with is that Tucker, isn't it? Isn't that Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker. Yeah.
Who's the dark-haired girl? That's not Silverstone.
No, on the bottom? I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know who that is.
All right, so you get your dose of comedy at the big comedy festival out there.
Already
Buy your
happened.
ticket to Riyadh. Already happened last week, or this week if you're watching. Last week if you're watching next week.
Yeah, Steve, what did you hear anything about it?
Who were vocal against it? Was it Marin?
So Bill Burr got a lot of flack for doing it because he happened to like speak out against like the billionaire stuff like early on, and so he's the one that's been getting a lot of big time heat for it. But yeah, I mean, like everybody, like Louis C.K. kind of defended himself on a couple of them and kind of was like a little more diplomatic. Bill's pushed back about it. He's my favorite comedian, so I feel bad about that, but. Yeah, it's gotten a lot of controversy for
what
it.
happens with it also, man, is you get to a certain point in your life, and like I saw a thing the other day. They were talking about the NBA players, and they picked the top three, I'll just use one that everybody knows. LeBron James. LeBron James, I think his salary is $58 million. His take home is $20 million.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get that.
That's crazy.
I mean,
You feel like answering some letters? A little dear sexy?
sure.
I think it's the time of the evening for Dear Sexy. 2 actual Dear Abby letters. As if they were sent to Kevin Nash.
I just hope they're not from the 1950s.
Well,
some of these are like.
Some of these are kind of fun. I like to hear you answer those specifically because they're a little more entertaining. Like the first one, this is an interesting one. Okay, Dear Sexy, 8 years ago, I split from my fiance of 30 years, Anthony, when he accused me of cheating, which I was absolutely not doing. Throughout the entire, by the way, that did say my fiance of 30 years, which is perplexing. Throughout the entire relationship, he hurt and belittled me. He is insecure and always suspicious. However, he remains attached to my family through my daughter and grandsons, which I'm not happy about. I live across the country now and recently took a trip home to visit my family. I have 2 sisters. Coincidentally, my niece's 40th birthday party was being held that Saturday. Nobody knew I was coming, so it was a surprise, but it turns out the surprise was on me. When we sat down to eat, one sister, my niece's aunt, turned to me and said, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want to hear anything about it. Anthony and I are in a relationship. Well, you can imagine how that went over. Not only did she ruin our niece's birthday party, but I feel betrayed by that sister. I have contacted her by text and email, telling her how I feel, but she doesn't respond. Right now, I have no desire to talk to her or have any kind of relationship with her. I think she sees dollar signs since he has money. But it's not right to date your sister's ex because it breaks the sister code. What's your advice on the situation? That's from Betrayed Sis in Wyoming.
Well, I mean, I'm still not over the 30-year...
30-year engagement.
Yeah, what the...
I couldn't ignore this line.
I just don't see that there's... What's the issue with the other sister? The commitment that this guy's... It says...
Can a sister not date an ex of another sister if they've been together for 40 years? These are not young folk we're talking about, I think.
No, I wouldn't imagine. I mean,
involved.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it. You know what, man? Like, love or attraction or a bond. If that person's been around the family for 30 plus years, I mean, you've spent time with, you've spent holidays, you've spent special times. So
right, was he always for 40 years looking to tap that sister ass?
It might have been.
Right.
And who's to say she wasn't in the mix somewhere along the way?
Those business trips.
Something in Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
I wonder if there's a similar feel to her as there's like a familiarity, like the guy could kind of get right back on the horse, so to speak. Second letter, Dear Sexy, this letter is embarrassing to write. When calling in a fast food order, my husband wants me to ask the price of each item and becomes upset if they vary from a menu price. I understand that in this economy, there are bound to be increases. One day, the difference was about $5. Because I didn't question it, a heated argument ensued. He said, just forget it. I called back and said my husband no longer wanted it. These fast food places are busy and short-staffed. I don't think it's right to bug them further. Also, I had a stroke and can't do fast math in my head. We have the money. I wouldn't place the order. I tried discussing this disagreement, and he said that I just want to be right. This has been a long 40-plus years that I've had with him. He was poor when he was growing up. We are no longer poor by any means. It's his controlling behavior that I hate. His reaction's always the same. Why don't you walk away? Just leave. I know he reads your column. Maybe you can help him. I know I'm tired, and I think his behavior is emotionally abusive and controlling. He's 64 and too old to be acting like that. Unfortunately, he's been this way.
He's too old to be eating fucking fast food.
Takeout in Ohio. This is Ohio. So, all right, Kev.
Takeout.
Have at it. Phoning in the takeout order.
I'm trying to think of what the Thai place we used to do takeout closed. Personally, man, if you're the reason you take out is for convenience,
Mm-hmm.
and the $5 difference is, I mean, $5 is. I think the guy's just a douchebag.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like it.
And
And it's fast food takeout. It's like it's a nominal amount. Like what was maybe $27 versus $22.
right, yeah,
For the
it's-
convenience of the delivery.
No, I don't get it. Obviously, the guys that I can't see this guy throwing down any kind of a tip.
Yeah, that's a whole separate
Right?
discussion. Yeah.
I mean, how many times do you go someplace to pick up takeout and add a tip? I always do.
Well, if you go get it,
Yeah,
you should be tipping yourself. You tip the
I still
delivery,
tip.
right?
I still tip.
You tip all the time. They've added this in the last few years where everything you fucking do,
Yeah.
you order a coffee, they punch it in, and there's a tip on there. Tip's supposed to be for added service, right? I get a little annoyed by this. Not as annoyed as Saudi Arabia. I don't know the tipping over there.
I think
you
it's
tip anybody but your wife over there.
No,
You tip her over by pushing her over the balcony if she doesn't bang you.
I think you can put the tip in. At your discretion.
All right, Magic Spoon with us again here at Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. That's what you're listening to. And we're going to take you back. We're going to take you back to the nostalgic days where you could sit and have bowl after bowl of cereal, watching cartoons in front of the TV. You can maybe have some cocoa stuff, some fruity stuff, some frosted stuff. You can now have those great flavors, but so much more responsibly, thanks to our friends at Magic Spoon. Actually, there was a testimonial somewhere. I forgot to copy it. Maybe I'll put it in next week's. Somebody took the time to post on, I think it was on our YouTube page, about their having purchased this for the first time and going buck wild after tasting it. And you know you're doing yourself a solid because every serving of Magic Spoon's high-protein cereal has 13 grams of protein. Okay, right there. 4 grams of net carbs and 0 grams of sugar. Okay, nostalgic flavors like I mentioned, or if you want to grab some of this on the go, they have the great crispy, crunchy, airy bars, those treats that you can throw in, and those are 12 grams of protein on the go also. You want a little chocolate peanut butter, you're covered there. You want a little dark chocolate, you're covered there. A little marshmallow flavor, you're covered there too. Guys, Magic Spoon is thinking about you by getting that sugar out of your breakfast or snack food, and giving you that protein. And we're going to give you $5 off your next order if you place that at magicspoon.com/kliq, Kliq, or just look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/kliq for your $5 off. And let us know how much you love that. Whoever sent that, I will read that next week. Promise. I'll have that better prepared. Thank you, Magic Spoon. And we have some questions from folks in the house here. Ask Nash segment. If you want to be a part of this, you go to kliqthistv.com, sign up, become part of the 11 Soft Club. and Patreon your ass right over here, just like who? David Van Boeglen. Kev, you met my buddy Dave Stark at Astronomicon this year. It's his birthday. Can we give him a good old shout out? Appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, Dave. Happy birthday, Mr. Stark.
Love to you, Stark. Many more. Ace Ramon. Do you have a favorite time when Hulk dropped the leg on someone? Mine will always be from Rocky 3. Such an iconic moment. Oh, the most epic one was on Savage.
Yeah, I'm going to say the one on Savage was pretty epic.
Got a lot of batteries thrown into the ring. Not by anyone trying to be helpful. No one's vibrator, bro.
Got a lot of money put in my bank account.
You sure did. Yeah, that did something for the next 3-4 years for you guys.
Yeah.
Actually,
5
forever
years.
with the fucking T-shirts, for God's sakes. Next. Instagram, a wrestling historian. Hello, Mr. Nash. What did you think of the Kiss mini concert on Nitro? Thanks in advance. I so forgot about that. That was tied into the Demon character,
To the Demon,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I've never been a Kiss fan.
I was so spellbound by the pageantry of Kiss as a kid.
Triple H, Paul was a huge Kiss fan.
Yeah. That's what I would talk to Trips about, I guess. When we hang, when the three of us hang, me, you, and him, go to a little backyard event in Stanford. I'm going to talk to him about Kiss. My experiences with Kiss.
I respect them. I think Gene Simmons is a fucking like a brilliant merchandiser.
For sure.
I mean, he's an incredible businessman. Paul Stanley's actually a pretty good artist.
Yes, his paintings. I'm a fan of his paintings.
So it's just, I mean, some of their, they're iconic. Like, I mean, you got to like Detroit Rock City just because it's Detroit Rock City and they're putting over your city. So,
gotta lose your mind in Detroit Rock City. All right, who's next? For God's sakes, what are we doing here? Ivan's True Family Stories. I offer to reimburse you the cost of admission. Would you go watch one battle after? If I offer to reimburse you the cost of admission, would you go to watch one battle after another? You did flirt with going to the theaters for that last week on the air, Kev.
yeah, no.
Didn't happen.
No.
You're waiting for the
streaming. I just wait till it streams because the buzz was great for 2 weeks, and then it didn't even have Sinners buzz after that. I think Sinners had a little bit more buzz.
Well, it was because it was so hot and heavy. I mean, you can't maintain that forever. The accolades are unbelievable. I'm very curious. I want to see it. I haven't had a chance to yet. I've been very busy.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And there's not many things that, in the A24 era.
Right. Watch a little Ed Gein this week. We could talk about that next week.
I'll see if I can sit through it.
If you need a little man ass in your diet. Edgar Watson, what do you think is wrestling's best gift to the culture of the world? Wrestling and culture.
Mindless entertainment?
Yeah, I was going to say, I using the word culture there is pretty tough. Pop culture.
I think
sure.
it's very Americana, though. I think
it's very Japanese.
Oh God, no.
But I've been reading the Observer all week.
No, I think that. I mean, how many for since the 80s? I mean, they've used references of any kind of a over physicality as a WWF. Ish type thing that happens in a basketball game, it's just
Pearl Harbor Job. That's exclusively American. Next, Ace Ramon. I'll just say this: with all the crap Shawn was getting away with, I wouldn't want to drop the title to him either. And Vince's favoritism towards Shawn sent a bad message to the locker room. Well, I mean, it was his favoritism towards the guy that wasn't leaving. I know he promised him a contract, and he had to back out of the contract because of the financial state of the company. Shawn was a top draw, Ace. You gotta. Who was the best wrestler, Kev? The best wrestler is the one that what?
Gets paid the most.
Makes you the most money, right? And that's what you gotta. That's what you gotta go with. And you know, he had offered that 20-year, I think it was the 20-year deal to Bret, and he had to get out of it and explain the financial situation. It only made sense that Shawn would have to be the guy to take that belt. I don't know, Ace. I don't get it. I don't get how there's any debate about it. Liette, dear Kev, did you have a good time in Scotland?
I mean, I didn't really do much but work and try to get some sleep. I was amazed Sunday night after I got back from the convention center. I was flipping channels. I'm like, oh, because there's nothing on. Because I'm one of those people that when I get done with something like that, I immediately lay out my clothes for the next morning, have everything ready, and I've got the bag that the clothes I've got, because I sleep naked, so once I get my food order and get it in my room, all my dirty clothes are put away, and basically all I do in the morning is I just have to put my toiletry bag in my suitcase and zip it up. So I was just like, oh, fuck. What am I going to watch? And I was turning channels, and all of a sudden I heard like a Scottish accents, and they were talking about the NFL. And next thing you know, it's the
game, the overseas game.
The Ravens were playing the Rams on Fox, and I got to watch the whole game. I was just like, wow, that was a nice surprise.
That's like a gift.
Ugh.
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast E, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson. Theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
Yeah, because this weekend will be the 3-year anniversary of T passing, so since this is for T, we definitely got to be here next week.
Customer service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love. Never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never